The 39th Test match 100 for Joe Root, a truly magnificent cricketer in the form of his life.
Imagine this. Your team needs under 100 runs to win a massive Test series. 7 wickets in hand. 2 world-class batsmen are cruising.
Bowled in. Could see it coming.
Having added 195 runs together, it's done. At the Oval, it should have been, but for England, it wasn't. On the final day of the Anderson-Tendulkar Trophy, England led the series 2-1 and were close to their 374 target. By the morning of day 5, victory felt inevitable.
Beautifully timed through mid-wicket. Brings up Harry Brook's 50.
We had seen a roller coaster day 4 as Joe Root, the master of fourth innings chases, and Harry Brook, the series' most destructive batter, were set. The crowd could taste celebration.
And he kicks it into the fence.
Indian shoulders slumped. Less than 100 to get.
And that's a magnificent 100 here. A chance here.
7 wickets in hand. Game over. But the game flipped.
Bowled in! And would you believe it? It is Mohammad Siraj.
In a nail-biting finish, India won by 6 runs. How did inevitability turn into disaster? It wasn't one mistake. It was a perfect storm. Arrogance, physics, psychology, and a pinch of cricketing magic. Here's how the trap was sprung. Before the chaos, there was calm. An unnerving, dominant calm. Root and Brook put on a masterclass. Root is a living legend in the 4th innings. Mountains of runs, 50s and 100s at home in this exact situation. At the other end, Harry Brook, poster boy of Bazball. He'd bullied India all series, racking up 481 runs and the player of the series. Here, he had already smashed a century. While Root manipulated fields, Brook bludgeoned length and line out of shape. India's plans unraveled. The attack looked short of ideas. But dominance has a blind spot. When everything looks simple, you miss the signals that the game is changing. England were locked into a successful pattern, focused only on the finish line. The pitch, the ball, the air above the oval. Each had started whispering a warning. England didn't listen. With victory around the corner, Brook went for a high-risk stroke and was bowled. A brain fade of epic proportions. It wasn't new either. At Lord's earlier in the series, he'd perished in almost the same way, prompting Kumar Sangakkara to call it arrogance, and Ravi Shastri a nothing shot. This moment demanded calm, knock the ball around and squeeze the target. Instead, Brook chose chaos. Brook's wicket opened the door. India burst through with 3 allies, Siraj, Krishna and Akashdeep. The day 5 oval pitch is tricky. It begins the match flat but finishes full of character. Cracks, scuffs and uneven bounce. The heavy roller can seduce batters for an hour, but the surface underneath keeps aging. Root and Brook masked the danger. For new players, it was a minefield. By the time the wobble began, the ball was past 60 overs. The hard, shiny new ball was a memory.
He has been a run machine. He scored elegant hundreds.
This one was soft and scuffed. A softer ball has a lower coefficient of restitution. It comes off the bat slower, so boundaries dry up. More important, that wear made it perfect for reverse swing. Conventional swing comes from one polished side and a tilted seam. Reverse swing is different. The roughened surface changes airflow, so at high pace, 85 miles per hour plus, the ball curves late toward the shiny side, the opposite of conventional movement. Batters set up for one line and discover a heartbeat before impact that the ball has ducked away. Overcast London isn't about humidity, it's about stability. On sunny days, the heated surface creates turbulence that kills swing. Under cloud, the air is steadier, perfect for lateral movement. The grey ceiling at the Oval wasn't a backdrop, it was an accomplice. Pitch, ball and sky stood behind India. Suddenly, what had looked like a stroll became survival. Brook's wicket didn't just remove a batter, it changed the atmosphere. The relaxed English dressing room tightened. Incoming batters walked out already burdened by the last mistake. Instead of watching this ball, they replayed the previous one. That is the snowball effect. Anxiety compounds and decision-making shrinks. The numbers are brutal. England lost their last 7 wickets for 66 runs. Post-Brook partnerships read like a heartbeat monitor, losing rhythm.
Edged and taken.
31, 5, 10, 7, 3, 10. This wasn't precision dismantling. It was an implosion from inside. And here's where Bazball met its hardest question. Relentless aggression is terrifying when you're on top. It looks brittle when you must absorb pressure.
In the air and safe.
England had no defensive gear to click into. No patience mode, no leave and live rhythm. India's bowlers asked old-fashioned questions. England tried to answer in one language. If Brook's wicket was the spark, Root's dismissal was the explosion. He was the anchor, the player the chase was built around. But even he was operating in a new reality. Reversing ball, uneven surface, a field closing in, one ball outside off, late curve, the faintest edge. Taken brilliantly by the keeper Jarrell, England's lower order faced an Indian attack, humming with belief and backed by a pitch that now felt alive. Every over was a trap. Two forces ran together down the last session, physics and psychology. Physics, the old ball reversing late, crack hitting lengths, bounce turning two-paced, energy bleeding from shots because the ball no longer pinged off the bat. Singles grew risky, boundaries rarer, and good length balls became wicket balls. Psychology, the tells.
Now that's close. That's very close.
Longer chats, deep breaths, fiddling with gloves, eyes flicking toward the pavilion. Batters started playing the occasion rather than the delivery. That's the hidden scoreboard pressure. You're not chasing 374 anymore. You're chasing ghosts. India's bowlers read both currents. They went fuller to find swing, lifted the length when the toe end showed, protected the shiny side, and kept the seam proud. Over after over, they made the next decision harder than the last. This was the stress test for England's philosophy. Bazball has changed the rhythm of Test cricket. Pressure back on bowlers, targets chased with audacity. But great teams carry multiple gears. When the surface bites and the ball talks, you need the ability to leave, to wear, to let the game idle and reset. England couldn't find that gear. Instead of shrinking the target in ones and twos, they searched for boundaries that no longer existed. Each over, without release, built pressure. Each misread of reverse swing cost a wicket. By the time the tail arrived, the target was close, but the road was gravel. What happened at the Oval carried the DNA of Eden Gardens, 2001. Australia arrived on a 16-match winning streak and forced India to follow on.
Slow ball. And he has picked it up beautifully. That brings up his second half century in a day. India forced to follow on.
274 runs behind. Hopeless on paper. Then VVS Laxman's 281 and Rahul Dravid's 180 stitched a day-long act of defiance, and Harbhajan Singh finished the job.
Oh, and he's got it. I think he's got it. Yes, he's got it. That's the end of Gillespie. He went for the drive.
That test didn't just change a scoreline, it rewired belief. The Oval offered the same lesson in a new costume. An opponent in control, a game drifting toward inevitability, and a side that refused to believe the maths. India held their nerve long enough for physics to join their side. Once it did, they tightened the screws. From the outside, collapses look sudden. On the field, they feel like a series of tiny tilts, a play and miss that nicks confidence, a ball that scuttles, a maiden that tastes like a wicket. India stacked small wins. England stacked small doubts. The lower order, never at ease against late swing, found pads in danger, stumps lit, edges hunted by a ring of catches. Every time it seemed England might wriggle back, one ball would tail or kiss the shoulder of the bat. The target stayed close enough to tease, far enough to torture. And then it was gone. India won by 6 runs. 6 runs that rewrote the series. Not 3-1 England dominance, but a 2-2 epic, seized from the edge of defeat and stamped with Indian resilience. This wasn't random, it was a reminder of what makes Test cricket unique. Momentum is fragile, it can sit with you all morning and desert you by tea. Conditions evolve. Day 5 surfaces and 60 over balls turn science into art. Belief beats maths. Keep asking honest questions. and the game can tilt. For India, the comeback joins the pantheon. Kolkata 2001, Melbourne 2020.
It's full, it's down the ground, it'll be at least one. Saini, he's got an injury with the groin. It goes as far as the fence. India, incredible. Rishabh Pant is the star.
Lords 2021. For England, it's a lesson. Great sides don't just attack better, they defend better. They carry a plan B for days when the ball won't leave them alone. So how did India pull off the impossible? Brook's high-risk shot cracked the door. The day 5 pitch, the tired ball, and the overcast sky turned reverse swing into a weapon. Panic shrank England's options. Root's edge broke the last pillar. India's bowlers stayed relentless until inevitability became anxiety, and anxiety became defeat. This is why we love this format. It's not just bat versus ball, it's physics versus nerve, patience versus impulse, belief versus the scoreboard. At the Oval, India didn't merely beat England, they beat inevitability itself. Did this video have you hooked? Well, you're going to love the next one. Just check out these gripping videos on our Cricket Crafter channel.